Welcome to Health Authority TV. My name is Devin DeVries. I'm the editor-in-chief of Health Authority Books, and our mission here at Health Authority TV is to bring together a community of health business experts and find out what's happening in their area of health and also look to future possibilities. And this week we are joined by Brandi Hooker Evans, author of Dentists, Hygienists, and Cows. Welcome, Brandi.
Hi, Devin. It's so fun to sit with you and look at the future that is just so bright for us as healthcare professionals and authors, and you leading the charge to making sure that the messages and services get out and are able to realize their best potential.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited about this community, and it's such an important and vital part that we need to all be a part of and affects everybody in the world. So to start off with, why don't you share a little bit of, who do you serve as a health authority?
So I am a dental hygienist by trade, and for the last 10 years, I have spent the bulk of my time outside of clinic doing continuing education and coaching for dentists and their teams. I believe that it is absolutely critical to look at every single patient as the individual that they are. And while we are providing such exquisite care to each and every person, we also have to have days and teamwork and a situation that fills our cup in a way that we're able to provide such great care. Because it takes a lot to do a great job, but if we operate from a place of a full cup and a place of hope and what I would consider to be the most effective version of care that we have available to us now, then it's not so hard. It's not such a drag. It's not so depleting. It's actually go to work, have a great day, provide incredible care, and then leave. This is the tricky part, with energy for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I really like that. And I think that actually could apply to every industry in the world, but I think especially when you are helping others, you really, so much goes out of you. Got to make sure something's left. So that leads then to what services do you provide in this area?
Yeah, so I teach continuing education courses. So if you go to an online or a live event and you're hoping to learn more and get continuing education credits as a dentist, a dental hygienist, or admin or assisting team, then I'm your girl for that. And as a coach, my life's work has been to show up with a team, give everyone a fishing pole, teach them how to use it, and then skedaddle on out of there. And the fishing pole in this situation is how to set up our days and the process of care in a way that achieves the goals we talked about before, as far as great care while also having something in the tank left over for ourselves at the end of the day. And what I have found to be absolutely true is if we can give our patients the ability to decide for themselves what level of health or disease they have, then not only case presentation, treatment planning, and then execution of that first stage of care, but then lifelong change and dedication to their own health is actually possible. As a dental hygienist, we hear all the time, oh, you're going to be mad at me because I didn't floss, or I floss twice a year. You do it both times, whether I need it or not. And all of that rhetoric is putting the dentist and the hygienist and the whole team in charge of the patient's health. When the reality, Devin, is we don't go home with our patients, their health or their disease. They go home with that. And so if we're not educating and facilitating the conversations in a way that they can decide for themselves and grasp what's going on inside of their own body to begin with, then beating our head up against the wall and talking until we're blue in the face. So my specialty is really getting the team working together as a unit to gift the patient the responsibility of their own health and well-being. And with a little tweak in vocabulary, you got to leave the dental lingo out of it so people can understand what's going on, and some thorough assessment, we see over and over across age, demographic, educational background, we see humans being able to understand what is happening in their own body, and it is beautiful.
Yeah, I really love that approach that you have of taking it a step further than just the office. And you have a lot of really great tips on how to do that and examples in your book. So if people want to learn more about it, we'll make sure there's a link to it in the show notes. And I highly recommend checking that out. Now, on to our favorite question, because this is a discussion that we are trying to build in this community. And that's, based on your experience as a healthcare authority, how do you think we can redesign America's healthcare system?
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and hop up on a soapbox, if you will, for a minute. I think that America has a sick care system, not a healthcare system. And here's why. People go to the doctor, to the dentist, to a healthcare provider, and they want the provider to get the person healthy. And that is not the way health works. Health works by the daily choices, activities, habits, and interactions that we have with ourselves, with the divine, and the people around us that make up what is health. And when we look back across time and different uh, faith bases and old medicine practices, what we're missing in our modern world is the beautiful ancient wisdom that talks and teaches how people can care well for themselves every single day, so that when something pops up, there is an emergency, something urgent, something out of the ordinary that is unrelated to our daily practices, that's where we blend and marry in the beautiful, amazing advancements of Western medicine that has been so life-changing in emergent situations. And so what we're seeing in not only the United States, but worldwide, more people are dying from diseases that are non-communicable, right? They're inflammatory disease, they're lifestyle disease. And so this is the first time it's ever looked like that, as best as I can tell, reading the research on the history of humanity. So what does that mean? It means that we are looking to the health authorities, to the health providers, to be responsible for our daily lives. And it's not possible, because just like I can't go home and floss every single patient every single day, I also can't go home with them and do all of the beautiful practices that we learn from, you know, getting the medicine that's already in the food, moving our bodies, connecting with something bigger than us, and having healthy relationships around us. And the newest one for me, sleep, rest, and restoration, even during the day. So what we notice is that when people start to take an interest in that ancient wisdom and daily decide to breathe life into their wellness, then they feel great. They have fabulous energy. Our bodies know how to work. They know how to heal. They know there is a deep, profound knowing inside each and every one of us that we can tap into with those daily choices. And the beautiful thing is when you come to the dentist or to the doctor and you have a checkup or an emergency, that's when we healthcare professionals can do what we've been trained to do, which is intervene at a time of crisis or prevention. So I think that honestly, it might be a tall order, but I think we should flip the whole thing on its head and lean into daily wellness and then looking towards the healthcare system for support of the kind that it was designed for. So there's my nutshell of a view on how we can do a better job with ourselves and one another.
Great. Thank you. Very interesting thoughts there. And I think you're right that it starts at home and before we get to before we get into these offices and meet the doctors. And for our listeners, this is an ongoing discussion we want to have. We want to hear your thoughts too. So please, add comments and join the discussion. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Brandi, and taking time out today. And for those that want to learn more, we'll make sure we have a link to Brandi's website and book in the show notes so you can follow up more with her. And until next time, may you be healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Thank you.